And we're live, so everyone, welcome back to another game here at Lol Tourneys, and we're going to be going straight into the pick and ban phase. Right now we have Lag Is versus NYCF. The first bans coming out so far are LeBlanc, a very heavy hitter, heavy hitting mid laner currently. We do have Kha'Zix, who's proven to be quite the bully. Lee Sin, an always amazing ban. Vi, just for those ultimates, and the Playmaker for those ganks being banned automatically. Dr. Mundo for that late game sustain and pushing that he has, as well as those cleavers being as devastating as they have been. And last but not least, we should see a ban coming in for the third for NYCF here. Seven seconds left on this, so hopefully we'll see it soon. And it is going to be a Kassadin, a very, very normal ban coming up because of his ability to have those annoying blinks and as snowbally as he is. But blue team so far here, Lag is instantly picking up onto that Thresh, a good support. Just hooks and the box, gonna be very, very, not necessarily clutch plays coming up, but Thresh overall is just an amazing support. But Caitlyn is going to be locked in response coming out for NY here. Very able to push lanes fairly well, has amazing long range, so able to poke. And we actually might see a Taric being picked up as the support here. Not something we generally see. Not something you generally see at all. And now he's just hitting the random button, but he is going to be locking into that Riven. So we are having a wonderful Sivir and Wukong both being picked up right here for Lag Is. Perfectly good pick. Sivir just a bully in the lane so far. Has amazing wave clear at almost all levels. The Q and the W coming out repeatedly with the boomerang and the ricochet. Just able to just devastate, and as soon as that Bloodthirster or the BF comes, it's gonna be just devastating left and right. And Wukong just proving to be a really good tanky AD in the jungle or in that top lane is just gonna be hitting hard. So, and in response, Purple Team actually gonna be picking up on Elise, another great top lane or jungler being picked up here. Has a lot of burst, has the ability to engage and disengage in fights fairly well. And just Cocoon's Valor are going to be coming out here, and Kayle actually being locked in. That shield is going to be used on Riven more than a million times, I can assume, and Riven's just going to be bouncing around even more. And so far, Razor9 here and Hakuna will be picking their champions in the next few seconds, so we'll see what they now. And we look like we do have a Gragas coming out here and a Renekton. They're going to be locked in for sure, possibly at this point in time. And the last pick might be an insta-lock coming down onto Blitzcrank here. Another good support, but falls off a little bit late game. The Annie actually being hovered over and locked in, I think, is the better pick because of the ultimate with the stun lock from Tibbers is going to be very strong. And lately she's been hitting fairly hard. She has had recent cooldown, basically buffs applied to her, so she's just going to hit a little bit more with those. By the way, I am casting along, I am Rainbow Sasha, and I'm currently casting along with I See What You Did There.
Hello, people. What's up? So looking at these team comps, we see that the New York City Finest have a lot of one-man shutdown potential with the Elise Cocoon, Annie Stun, and a slow from Kale.
So how do you feel about the early game at this point, just based on the picks that we see right now? Who do you think has the early game and who can do the most first?
It's an interesting one because I'm pretty sure, well, Renekton has a great early game poke against anyone he versus up top. So it should be a very interesting one up top lane. Jungle at least can go against anyone early game because she could turn into the spider form and do extra damage then. I would have to maybe give it to the purple team. Don't say anything on that. Just because the bot lane probably with the poke from Caitlyn and Annie would probably, but would turn around and poke back. It's pretty close. I don't know really.
So right now we do have a minute left before we do load into the game, and so far I'm really liking what Blue has to offer for team fights because they do have the Sivir with great, amazing poke. They are gonna have the box from Thresh, the CC from his death sentence, his Flay, and Wukong is just gonna be coming in with the ult knockup and the jukes, and then Gragas's ult is just gonna be coming in with that cask and exploding people in any which direction, and then Renekton able to just lock people down with that stun. I can't wait to see these fights. But in return, we do have Annie again with that stun. An amazing ult from Kale is going to be keeping at least one of the two carries they have to focus, either Caitlyn or Riven, alive to make sure that they are able to do as much potentially in the fight that they can. And Elise is just going to be hitting with those cocoons, the spiders, and just the amount of damage she can come out with that exploding spider.
Yeah, as I said before, the purple team have a very good just one-man catch. So if they catch, let's say, a Sevilla, because her hunt would be the getaway, they could lock them down really quickly.
And we are actually going. Oh, I apologize. We are going into game right now. So we will be going into our coin phrase of Skin War, Best War. So we'll see who has to bring out these skins today.
Come on, give me a reverse Annie skin. Like I love Annie, and I play Annie mid lane, even though she's a support, but I just love potential at level 6 on anyone. It's just so OP.
So far we do have Deep Terror Thresh, a skin you don't necessarily see because Championship Thresh just kind of overpowers him a bit. Hillbilly Gragas, Pool Party Renekton, and only Death Blossom Elise for NY here. So we have
they're letting me down here on the skins. Yeah, I would have thought that's interesting. So they're obviously going. So the 2 out of 3 lanes are obviously going for their water themed skins here.
Just a little bit here, but I know, well, one's in a pool and the other's a little bit of a deep terror in the ocean with his treasure chest.
And Renekton, obviously, as a lifeguard, will make sure they are not dying too much or drowning, as if you would be saying.
Well, lifeguards usually save lives, and I feel like Renekton's not going to be having much of that going on in this game. But we are into game, and Wukong is currently stuck in a tower. There he goes. But we do have the good luck have funs coming out, each team being nice enough to each other to do that. And just basic starts coming off, both the supports coming out with that Doran shield, which will soon no longer be much of anything anymore.
Because it's going from 80, I believe 80 to 50 hit points, is it? Am I correct? Yep, I'm pretty sure I'm correct. It's going from 80 to 50 hit points. So back to the gold per 5 seconds. Yeah, the money one.
Well, all of the new support items give money in some substantial form, but I feel like it's still going to be a choice between the Terragon Shield and that Ancient Coin, because the Frost Queen is not really that strong. Not a lot of people bought it when it was still the older item.
Well, this is interesting.
They both just circled around to each other's buffs.
They're just waiting for them. Obviously, we're having that recall animation. Renekton there. Seems like they're having a fun dance party in the bush. There's not a lot of dancing going on with the purple team. They're obviously taking this very seriously.
Oh, they're taking things a bit more seriously at the moment.
So there was a ward. So Riven probably backed. So because she's done all she could for her team.
Yeah, and again, this is a little necessarily different, but it's not something we see all the time. But they are just gonna go for each other's buffs at the moment. Riven placing down a ward so that she can keep her allies jungle pretty safe.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's that which team will get that poke off at the very start when they're going back to lane. So
ooh, but we have Elise coming down straight for this the level 2 gank coming out. And she is going to get damaged. We are going to see a flash from Thresh coming out. Ignite is onto him, and First Blood being picked up by Caitlyn.
I was a little bit nervous that Annie forgot that she had a stun up, because she wasn't stunning him in the bush. I was like, Annie! She ended up using it, and it was just that lockdown that they could get that kill.
And again, Elise, so I was a little worried about how they were going to be able to trade, because they were going to be crossing paths, coming to lane for those AD carries, but Elise made a good play, came down with them, had the level 2 from taking one of the smaller race.
Wukong's getting caught out here, because Riven,
and he might just survive, but Elise is actually picking him up. But right now, Riven has Ignite on her. She is going to be falling to the body slam of Razor here. And now they're collapsing onto Gragas, so he does not have much of an escape right now.
Yeah, except for that body slam.
He is just going to walk away.
So from what that unorthodox start from both teams have turned out for didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but 2 of them already in the hands of NY here, so that's just a pretty good start for them. And especially because Caitlyn was able to get the kill first onto Thresh, she is going to be able to just bully a lot in lane. She's already ahead by quite a amount of CS, about 10 right now, compared to Sivir, so she's just going to be beating more even after this.
Yep. And how much? So Wukong was finally going back to get his blue buff, which kind of left Elise out of her blue buff, because they obviously took hers and then went and then did his own, and now Elise doesn't, and Wukong, but the thing is Wukong didn't have his red buff. Kind of missing out on the sustain from it. Well, I can't really say sustain because then she got a kill and it refreshed, but Wukong definitely lost out.
So right now, a little bit of a small decision coming out right now. Sivir actually opted for the double Doran's Blade start because she was shoved behind a little bit in lane, as I mentioned before, but we do have Caitlyn actually picking up right onto that Vampiric Scepter. And just Riven doing a little bit of damage up in this top lane against Renekton.
Yeah, Renekton's one of those champs that is a tank, but also does early game damage. So there should be some between those two. And Igor obviously pink warded his rush, his tri-bush here, and he decided not to take it and just ward the river.
So not much coming out so far, but I feel like as soon as Elise comes back, there will possibly be gank probably in the mid lane because they do want to shut Gragas down first and foremost before he is able to pick up that Athene's. Because from there he has that infinite mana that he can just spam left and right and just constantly regens health based on that. And, ooh, Thresh missing the hook.
Gotta land those. Yeah, if I would be trying to gank Gragas before he turns level 6, because then he could just ult you away and then body slam. But
Ooh, but he is actually gonna have to body slam out Kayle, doing a lot of damage to him, and Elise actually coming to this mid lane. As I mentioned before, the repel is down, the slow as well. Yeah. He is ignited, so he is gonna fall, and Kayle is just barely gonna survive a kill going to Elise.
See, I think he could have got the kill on Kayle if he just landed that barrel, leaving it at the turret. So he got.
Oh, but Elise in the top lane doing some damage. Cocoon is on as well as the spider. He is just gonna dash over the wall to safety. Ooh, but Thresh does get the death sentence on and the fillet, and a good amount of damage is on, but she is pretty low. This shield is on. She's gonna be flashing. Thresh is still going, gets hit by the Yordle snap trap here. He does flay her away, is actually not gonna pick it up, and he comes back with the damage.
As I said, it's the Annie. She's just so OP though. So they got a kill on Thresh there, and Sevilla wasted her barrier and flash. And Caitlyn didn't waste any summoners there, so it was a very good trade actually. And that's brought them up to about 1.3k gold difference. And the thing is with Elise, if I was the blue team, I would be trying to ward up Dragon, because Elise can take Dragon very early. Turns into spider form and gets her spiderlings to tank it up.
But we do have some pings coming out, possibly a gank coming bot pretty soon. Elise was proven to be a tower, and oh my gosh, Thresh missing yet another hook, but not too bad. He has made a good play so far in the top lane. Renekton and Riven are fighting it out, but nothing is coming out of that so far. And a weird flay being used here by Igor, not really doing anything. It was more, I guess, for the minions than anything else. But at least leaving, possibly going up for a gank in this mid.
No, for
actually, she's going for that dragon, as you mentioned before.
Yeah. It's at spiderlings, as she's just can take it down really quickly. But yes, but she's taking a lot of damage because no one's really helping her. Her team's like, you can take it. And they get the ward there because they saw they were missing in action. And Wukong is level 6 though, so he will have his ult up.
They're just gonna leave that dragon alone. Elise I guess there's a little bit of miscommunication there, because she just was kind of taking it herself. She's not that tanky yet.
She was almost about to die to the white. She was really close there. I didn't got that health back right before it attacked her, so lucky escape there.
Riven really low in this top lane now is going to be jumped on quite a bit. Damage is Renekton just pushing her hard.
It's that early game damage from Renekton is just really building up.
But he is coming in with the ult, and he is going to be picking her up and is just escaping out of there. Elise was coming up top to possibly assist, lit her back, but she's acting in a faster manner than she probably wanted to at this point.
Yeah. So
but in the bot lane, oh my gosh, this Caitlyn is just proving to be as nasty as possible. She is 1-0, and she's currently ahead by almost a full 60 DS.
And this Wukong's ready for a gank, but they sorted out. And Thresh over the flash.
Ooh, and Sivir does. She lets the ult out. The Thresh Lantern is down, but Annie's Tibber is juking everyone.
Oh.
The Philion actually picking up the
There you
kill,
go.
and the Gragas cast is going to pick up onto Annie.
Oh, but the
Ace in the hole is out, a double kill for for Caitlyn
So,
here, picking up.
Thresh obviously didn't want the monkey to live. He just... Because I feel like he could have blocked that. Thresh could have blocked it and lives, but obviously he didn't want him to
Well,
live.
last minute he did try to go for it, and he was just off by a smidgen. He walked towards it just a little bit.
Oh.
Death sentence on and a flay, throwing Kale away here.
Maybe KO was coming down to see if they can get off a pick off Thresh, but there was a good death sentence there by Thresh. And I believe Elise is finally getting a team to help.
Yeah, so a dragon coming out. It's going to be the first dragon of the game, the second attempt. They do have it pretty low. Wu could come in and pick up the, but does not. Just a little bit too late to the Smite War.
Yeah.
So that's a tremendous goal lead now.
Yeah, that's a 2k gold lead. And so obviously Rengar obviously it's Renekton, is going for that Sunfire. Most Renektons do. But I've seen them a lot going for that Rabadon's Hydra build. But he's going the more tanky option.
And I could see why. Ooh, and he might land a stun here. Does back off just a little bit. But
She didn't have a
Renekton, as you
flash.
mentioned before, as you mentioned before, Renekton picking up onto that, going for the more tanky build. It's because right now
No one
they
else,
have
yeah.
Wukong for the damage, which is going to be happening because Wukong can go the tanky damage route and just completely take the game if he needs to with that build, and Renekton being able to tank everything and come in with those dashes and the damage that he can deal is pretty excellent. Wukong, I think, accidentally
Wukong
stealing
just-
that blue buff there.
Yeah, that red buff OP. But
And as of right now,
he has this chalice, so he will not have, but it's probably the cooldowns that doesn't have as much cooldown and mana, but he shouldn't be too mad. He is a hillbilly, so he should be happy. He's got his beer, he's got his wine with him. Should be fine.
so right now, that outscaling that Caitlyn's able to do, because they did pick up the first blood for her, and she was just able to bully the lane repeatedly, allowed her to pick up the Bloodthirster first. So right now, while Sivir has nearly no damage, a lot of it's going to be coming out, but they are coming down. Wukong is going to be here. They're going to possibly
Spotted, but-
activate the Sivir ult to engage.
But they were spotted
Annie
by a
has her
ward.
stun and ult up.
And Wukong was spotted by a ward, because they've got very good ward coverage, so they know if Wukong's coming down for a gank. Yeah, it's weird. There's only one other ward that Purple Team have, and that's basically seeing if Wukong's going to come down and get KO'd.
Ooh, but we do have a fight to flay the box, and Wukong coming in with the ult is going to make sure that Thresh actually picks up the kill here, and Annie's Tibber not being able to do as much as it hoped for in the fight. All three of them engaged with good amount of CC. The box and the Wukong with that clone
really
just
gonna
picking
get
up beautifully.
Yeah, you're not really going to get away from a knock-up and then a slow. If you're, well, especially if Caitlyn tries to 90 cabinet away, you're just going to hit the Thresh's box. Anyway.
Ooh, but Renekton coming in with the ult, getting the damage onto Riven here. We do have a good Cocoon coming out from Elise. She is getting the damage onto him, and Riven's actually coming back in with the ult,
I
the
don't think this is very
stun. The wind
smart.
slash is
This is
out,
not very
but she's
smart.
not going to be able to take him down. Elise repelling into the air, flashing Renekton, not picking this up yet. He
That
possibly
slice
could,
and
but
dice.
Grixis is coming up over the wall.
Oh,
The
there you
cast
go.
going out, picking up the kill.
Wow, and now, just with those kills, the gold has become exactly even.
Ooh, but in the bot lane, we do have Thresh getting a beautiful Lantern off, which is gonna leave. And actually, Euphorion picking up the kill onto Thresh beautifully. And Caitlyn is just keep going. She's just hammering. The crit was there, throwing the net out to get the range, picking up a double kill.
That's what happens when you're 5-1. There's not that much that a Severe could do there. Because she didn't have.
So Annie just completely safe there.
Mm. It's kind of a you gotta the support you in every single way. So if the 80s way, that would be very helpful for the support. And the bot torrents going down really quickly. Well, not quicker than any other torrent because of that buff, the debuff for the bot torrents.
So right now we are 6-8. Not too much of official lead in kills because there are only the 2, but we do have a tower picked up, so that's going to give a little bit of more map pressure right now to NY. And they're just going to be able to roam now. As we can see, Annie towards that mid lane, going to start dropping wards and warding the blue area, possibly allowing Kale to pick up those blue buffs. But she just might actually come top and get a good stun with Tibbers onto Renekton.
So
and he does not have ward, so he's not going to see her coming in. No. But here she comes, the stun landing, and she's just gonna keep coming in. But Elise is joining in the fight. Renekton here has ulted. The repel is on. Wind Slash is going to be up. She's going to be doing the damage. There's the Wind Slash, and she's going to die to turret though. No. What? No, just surviving. The shield is OP.
Shield. No, see, the thing with the fight there was that.
Oh, but Caitlyn here getting cast into the tower range. Beautiful pickup by Gragas. I'm on a killing spree, currently 4-1.
Going back to the fight up top, when Annie came in, I was surprised she didn't, because she had the stun up and she had Tibbers, so I thought she was going to Tibbers stun him, but she didn't. She waited and she the stun. It took a while for them to kill him because he is a one tanky crocodile. Now they see at least up top, they're gonna go for the dragon.
That's pretty good. They are gonna be trading a kill. They are gonna be trading a tower for a dragon, which was okay because 2 people died on either team, so it was kind of, I guess, pretty equal because they both offer global gold to the team.
Yeah. So looking at the builds, Ribbon started off going with the brutalizer. I don't know, all that hook though.
Oh, but a good Thresh hook is gonna be landing here. The flash with that cyclone up. He is gonna oh my gosh, Caitlyn actually dropping to Storm here. A good pickup. Had to use the flash with the cyclone combo and deviate from that tower, but they are gonna be going onto Gragas here, and 3 of them are gonna rotate over.
It's that ward coverage. Now Annie finally got her first, but then that auto attack just followed.
Yeah, that auto attack that traveled the world. They're going to be getting up pretty safe here, so now the kills are a bit more even, only 1 separating between them, but 2 towers are now in favor of NY here.
It's like, that's what's making it a 500 gold difference. But the fight was on in the Dragon. Renekton's just been pushing top. And he will get the turret.
And that's entirely okay for him because they did pick up on a Caitlyn and they did pick up a tower, which is good for them because now they have more map to roam for themselves. So now Renekton's going to be seen a lot more in that mid and bot lane. They are going to be pushing for that bot pretty soon as well as that mid. As we can see, pings are coming out probably to get some wards into that area.
Yeah, and Renekton's starting to build into the Spirit Vision. Oh, I cannot pronounce that. Into the spirit, I'm just going to call it the spirit. Into the spirits to stop Kale from basically bursting him down.
And the health regen it's going to offer him is pretty amazing. He actually might go for the Ravenous Hydra on that build because then the lifesteal will offer him a lot more advantages in those team fights.
He would just be a life-stealing tanky crocodile. I don't even. I I was gonna say something because I used to live in New Zealand. I was gonna say something about Steve Irwin, but I didn't.
Oh, but we do have Cyclone coming in here. Caitlyn actually being the target of all the damage. Tibbers not actually stunning onto him here, but we do have Caitlyn just backing away. Annie actually still in the danger zone. Actually picked with the red. Beautifully done picking up onto Wukong, but she is going to be targeted now.
She doesn't have a stun up.
Dangerous little chunk of health. Sivir actually picking up the red buff in return. So a good fight nonetheless. 1-for-1.
She hasn't been landing those Tibbers. I think she's only landed one Tibbers so far. One Tibber stun. And that's crucial if they want to.
Ooh, but Renekton coming in gets the stun off here. We do have Gragas coming into this mid lane, and Kayle gonna heal herself in the opposite direction. But Thresh actually going to be the next target here. Simply Bun Bun coming in with good damage. Thresh from flashes out, but the ace in the hole is down and out, and Thresh is gonna be falling. Ooh, but they are chasing the Flash Cocoon, not hitting anybody, and she's just going to be taunted left and right. She is still trying to make a play onto Sivir here, but not picking it up. Sivir now double buffed.
That was I would have to say a little bit too greedy by Simply Bun Bun, because Caitlyn, and I think she just wanted the kills.
Yeah, I think she just tunnel visioned so hard. She's like, yeah, we're ahead. We got towers. We can do this. And then she couldn't. No one was with her. She was in a solo area at 1v3 and just not able to do anything about it. But Gragas here might be in a little bit of trouble. The stun is down. Annie actually picking up the race there.
Maybe smart play by Annie seeing Gragas there, but I would have thought she wanted to lock him down. She would have used Tibbers because Tibbers was up.
That's very true, and I just feel like it was kind of a back off, save that. We are going to be pushing somewhere else soon, and we might need it for a different situation, which is entirely good.
Yeah, because they would like that Flash Tibbers for that CC.
And also in that situation, it would have been around a 3v2, I believe, and possibly a 4v2, so that was just a good don't do that yet kind of situation.
Oh, good hook in there to stop Thresh from landing that hook. But now...
Beautifully timed.
Yes, but now we see Renekton picked up the... I'm not gonna say it, the Thornmail. He split building into the...
Ooh, but lots of damage on Igor here. The ace in the hole is out, but we do have Wukong here tanking it.
See, maybe he
but Kayle still going on. The stun is onto her. She is played. The box is down. She's gonna hold herself. Cyclone is out, and Renekton is just doing damage just as well. But Sivir picking up more kills and a very, very dangerously low. Ooh, and the Ignite's gonna be picking up onto Elise, and Annie fell just as well.
It's just that crowd control, though. It was just that perfect engagement there. It was, and River wasn't even in the fight, so it was a 4v5. Gragas, so you couldn't really do anything there.
Ooh, but Gragas coming in does pick it up, does come in with the roll in the barrel and taking Caitlyn's life and a tower. So what they're doing here is... Oh, I was just going to mention their teamwork is superb at this point. They let them push as much as they could in that early game, and now they're just about even on towers. Only one down, but they're ahead by 3 kills. So they're using communication as like a key factor here and just doing so well with their group fight.
The gold has shifted to about 2k. Oh, 8k, 1.8k. And it's that torrent though, and they're down a torrent, so it obviously shows that they're getting a little bit more objectives than NY.
So right now, I think the main thing we need to see is we need to see Riven get a little bit more tanky. She doesn't have as much as you would hope to at this point in time. She is 0-3, so she has been denied a lot of almost everything. She hasn't been able to be in effective team fights and pick up any of the kills she's tried to gain.
No. And Severe finally picking up her static shiv. So that will even, because she has, the blue team lag has very good wave clearance. They got the Gragas barrel and now the static shiv.
And as I mentioned before, Sivir's wave clear is just second to none at this point because of the attack speed triggers for her W. Ricochet is just going to be out at every given second. And we do have pings coming out, possibly to ward their jungle or a possibility of where they could be. But just this wave clear from Sivir is just so beautiful. It's the reason why she's my favorite AD carry, is because there's just so much you can do with her.
So Riven split pushing as usual. That's how she got the top inhib turret. No, not top second tier turret. And then Renekton just pushing the lane back, slicing and dicing through those minions.
They might make a group play here for this mid lane. It will be a 4v4 if they do, but Renekton's going to be coming around from the bot. And Sivir actually in that bot lane, so it would be a 4v3 situation, but Renekton's here now. Riven's pushing the lane top, but Sivir pushing on that bottom, doing really well. They're looking to migrate over to her, thinking that she's still pushing, but she is just going to back out just to safety.
And even with that split pushing, because she was so pushed out of lane, she's still 13 gold behind, 13 minions behind.
But even with that, they just have, again, as you mentioned before, that they have so much wave clear and push potential because of the Gragas barrels and his wave cleared, as well as Sivir. Ooh, but they are making a play for this top tower, and I can see them picking it up. And they are going to be going on to Kayle here. She is going to be ulting. The Cyclone was on her. Renekton has ulted just as well, but she might pick up onto Wukong here. Damage is out. We do have Gragas falling, though, and a good pickup. Riven going to be falling yet again. Furion, oh my gosh, so low, dying to the Ignite. Renekton picking up a kill. He actually is picking up the double kill. A good cocoon from Elise, but flashed away by Igor here fairly well. This is now a 3v3 chase, and we'll see who comes out as victor. Right now, Kayle could speed herself up, but she's taking a decent amount of damage, and the stun Tabers is out. Igor is falling, sacrificing himself to the blood gods. Vanney is just going to allow his team to escape. And the Spirit Visage actually finished by Renekton, as well as the Last Whisper on Caitlyn, so she is going to be able to hammer through bits and pieces of Renekton at this point, which is good and what she needs to do. And here we have a set of Invisible Wolves that Sivir is just going to pick up. So just fairly good farming coming out. Whew.
That was a very hectic, and I was surprised that only 2 people from NY died. I thought more would, but for that they wanted the most, they got the Kayle and the Caitlyn. No, they didn't get Kayle, they got Caitlyn and Riven.
Kayle and Elise, I believe. Elise lived, so it was the Kayle and the Riven actually fell.
Yeah,
my bad. In that fight, Riven just picked off left and right, as I mentioned before. She is 0-4. So, just not playing as much as she possibly could be, or as well as she could be in this game.
I'm surprised she hasn't gone for the Graviton's Hydra, because that's what most Riven people would use. But then now she's going for that heck. Maybe for split push. I don't know. I would have thought she would have gone for the Graviton's Hydra.
Well, because of the current damage that's going to be coming out from Gragas, and as much as he can poke, it's going to be useful on her if he does go for the kill on her, because she's going to get that shield for that magic coming out, so that's fairly good. Because Gragas is pretty much a threat at this point. He is that 6-2. Oh, yeah. He does have that Zonias. He does have that death cap, so that's just ridiculous damage he has right now. But just now we play
Yeah.
the waiting game because Annie is just possibly gonna pick up a good Tiberston actually picks up
Look.
onto Sivir there. Beautiful
It's
play,
that
but now they're
damage.
gonna be migrating towards her. She might
she
just get
picked-
out and escape.
Yeah, well, it especially helps when your support has a Deathfire grasp. So DFG, that's an interesting. Okay. You don't really usually see that on a support, but obviously she felt like they needed more damage. Oh, that.
Oh,
flash,
she
but
does
doesn't
come in
have
with the
Timbers.
flash done. Beautifully done. The cast coming out from... Oh, and the Cyclone's going down. It is going to be a wind slash, but not picking up anybody. Annie is fairly low. She is just going to back away. Simply Buns going on to Renekton here, but the box and the lantern being used effectively, and Fade Boy is going to be picking up onto that Renekton. Beautiful play, allowing them to take 1 for none in this case. And they are just going to be poking around possibly for this tower. It's something they need to pick up right now. They are 4 for 4 in towers, 16 for 16 in kills, and only about 1k off in gold right now. So if they are able to pick up this tower and push, possibly for a secondary, they will have a good play coming out. That sentence is on. Elisa's the target. The Flay sending her back. Wukong coming in with the damage, but she's going to be falling. The repel not being a good situational vision right there, and she's just going to be a dead little spider just sitting there. She is picking up onto that haunting guys, which is decently useful for her right now because of the spiders and the magic penetration is going to allow her to receive.
Yep. That fight back there was actually really good because Severe wasn't in the fight, so they didn't really have to worry.
Oh, but Greg is actually misplaying here, using the casket a bit too late, getting the Ignite onto Caitlyn here, but she's just gonna kill him in return.
No, Severe just going up
Thresh.
to push the top lane to get some farm. Still
And she's
holding on
not
to a
sticking
double
around
play.
for it.
No,
She's gonna go for white.
because that actually gives off a lot of XP. OP XP.
And Kale picking up a nice little blue buff here herself, which is good. She is 1 for 1 currently.
But again, it's that 8 to 5. It's that 8, the 8 to 5 Caitlyn. That and the 4 to 3 support. Picked up a blasting wand. Oh, but now has a void staff.
Yeah,
So-
the void staff is going to be fairly difficult to deal with because now Tibbers is just going to do a lot more, and actually picked up the sweeping lens trinket, so she is going to be able to deward a little bit. So that is 2 dewarding capabilities now on the side for NYCF here. But Lag is already had both of them, has one active and is just ready to take out wards whenever. And this is the Baron dance, as you can see, just for the wards and the trinket buyouts here. This is where Baron's gonna start coming into play. And just everyone just kind of carefully walking around. We might see the trinkets being used? No, they're both on cooldown
Riven.
still, but we do have Renekton actually being caught out here. A decent amount of damage actually being dealt by Riven now, but Renekton just gonna over the wall. But Annie just picking up more and more kills left and right. Tibbers, as well as that DFG active, just proving to not be as it's just devastating right now, and this is gonna be a free Baron for them if they go for it.
But they still have Elisa's. They don't even care about the sweeper. They don't even care if there's any wards up because they got that. Because now, gotta watch out for the smite from.
Well, Annie actually landing a good stun. Now she's gonna have more of that AP from that 40 AP bonus and the regens coming out. So this is a fairly dangerous position for Lag is here because Wukong splitting up to top. Riven actually might go for a catch out on him, but he's just gonna back away.
I don't think he's gonna make it. Will he make it? No. Oh, but he's gonna juke.
He is juking fairly well, but Riven does have constant gap closers that she might be able to pull out here. And there's the stun
Oh,
and a
the
game
pause.
pause automatically there.
Oh, that's.
Oh.
But it wasn't on his team, so he's a little bit lucky there. Now he can try to plan out
So
his
we
escape.
do have a disconnect coming out. Annie actually disconnecting. So, not a good sign. Hopefully they get her back because I believe the way we have rules set up here is you have at 2 points in the game you can have pauses up, but each pause can only last 5 minutes. After that, those 5 minutes, you can either forfeit the game or you can let it ride and do a 4v5. So.
But the thing is, Annie is a big, damage dealer. So you're kind of hoping that she didn't, like, her internet didn't crash or something, because.
Very, very true indeed. So right now, we can talk about the game still because we are not the players, so this is something that can go down. Right now, the things we see are in good position. Everyone's up for both teams, except for we have a nice little Baron buff for NYCF here. So just beautiful time pickup. Annie picking up Gragas right before they took it, making sure that they couldn't contest Baron if they tried. And so far, that unorthodox DFG and Void Staff pickup we've seen has been nothing but brutal for them. And Elise just tanky enough for the entire team, so Annie doesn't have to go that full support build that you would usually expect.
But now looking at lag is. Obviously, Renekton being the tank he is, he's gonna pick up a Banshee's Veil. If that's what Thresh might be picking up. Probably.
That actually is probably what Thresh is going to be picking up. He could go for the Spirit Visage as well. They are both good items on him, but being able to possibly make sure he does not get Tibbers stun locked onto him is decently good, as well as Ace in the hole, as well as Elise coming in with cocoons and Riven coming in with stuns. That will be a beautiful pickup if he does go for the Banshee Veil.
There's the reconnect by lack of skills.
So we will possibly be seeing this.
I was gonna say the name. It's obviously the way he's playing is this of his name. Note.
So we do have the pause possibly being stripped away within the next few seconds. We do have the ready call coming out in chat, so pause is gonna be gone, and we're resuming in 3 seconds.
Come on, oh no!
Oh, but he jukes at the perfect time. But he is gonna be cycloning out. But Annie actually locking down with stuns, and Riven actually picking up her first kill of the game.
Thought Elise was gonna KS there, but she missed her cocoon, so.
And that's pretty good, because currently Elise is 4-4, which is nice.
Yeah.
But Riven just had like no gold income other than the 5 assists she's been given, and any Dragon and Barons that they picked up, as well as the minions she does have. She does have good farm, so that's decent. But before this, she was just kind of Baron with no kills on her little kill streak. Well, on her KDA. Yeah. Now she does, so hopefully she's gonna go back, buy something. I would love to see Ravenous Hydra come out for her.
Yeah. So Kayle obviously picking up that Lich Bane to push down torrents.
Ooh, Kayle picking up the Lich Bane is going to be something that's very, very dangerous, because Kayle procs with that Lich Bane are so beautiful, and Gragas just might be eating his own words at some point, as well as just about anybody, because Kayle is just going to start ripping people to shreds in as divine way as she possibly can. But they are going to be seeing them through the ward here, waiting for the cast to explode. They are going to make a play for this bottom turret, which is going to be almost uncontested, but Annie just...
I was just going to say Dragon Slash. No, I thought NY would have just taken torrent and then gone and get Dragon. Just choke the
Well, it is good for them. They can keep, because all of their ults are currently up, they could go for this tower. for this tower. And with Baron, you have to make plays. So whether that play is going after Dragon or just constantly pushing towers, that's something they need to do. So they might be collapsing onto this Dragon any second now.
Poor Dragon, he's just gonna die so quickly.
Yep, and now they're just sitting at their base, kind of dumbfounded, like, where do they go? We don't have wards that much of any place, and that Baron, that Dragon went down super fast. But that's because the Baron buff is just going to keep assisting in all of their current stats. And Wukong just trolling a little bit, but Kale picking up Void Staff now, Riven picking up that Maul Malmortius, and
still within my grasp.
Just damage now. Oh my gosh, the Void Staff on Kale is just gonna rip through people.
And finally, Elise picked up the Sundress Torment. And Severe picked up Last Whisperer, so she's gonna. Oh, and Caitlyn picked up a Banshees. So she's gonna stop maybe the Threshold or the Gragas Sparrow, but that's just one thing she has to watch out for is when Gragas throws out his barrel, they want to dodge it so she doesn't, so it doesn't get procced.
Exactly, and actually Scrying are being picked up by Sivir now, so that's gonna allow her just to scope out things in a fast manner. But other than that, I would rather see the wards come out, seeing as they don't have as much wards placed as they want to at this point.
And at least picked up a Oracle, so it's gonna shut down the vision. Yeah, I think it's a smart option for one of their flag to pick up the blue, because basically they check up Bush without face checking it. Because as I said before the game started, the purple team has such a good one lockdown that they could just basically die instantly, because you got the Elise Cocoon, Riven stun, any stun. It's kind of the Kale slow.
Ooh, and Riven shredding just a little bit. Sivir actually ulting here. The Randuin's active actually being used here, and Riven is gonna be flashing over the wall. Oh my gosh, good play there. Locker's skills here actually being taken in by the Death Sentence and taking some tower aggro. So Riven just kind of escaping there in a good situation, as well as Annie, who does have blue buff. Mind you, that's a thing that apparently happened.
I would have thought she would have. Maybe she would have taken it. I don't know, stole it. But Baron is up in 1:30, so. Oh, and Riven just overextended.
Oh, and Riven just in a very, very dangerous position. Just gonna get out of there. An amazing shield being used. Good job, Riven, just escaping. But just very, very passive play. Will they see out Annie? They will not. Igor actually dropping some words because that Baron,
I think they got the
again.
timer because they were at Baron while they saw the purple team take it. So I think so they should know when it's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. I thought Wukong was just gonna, but he warded it. So, and at least picking up 1 vision ward and 3 wards, so they really want to control the Baron area. Surprised, maybe she's turning into the support because she's got the oracles and all the wards.
Oh, but both Scrying Orbs are now down for both teams.
Yeah, and the oracles just ran out when she was going into the Baron pit, so they didn't pick up on the ward. It's in the Dragon pit.
Exactly, but Thresh coming with a box, Annie being taken down automatically here, but Riven coming in, the Cyclone down from Kong right here, and a good explosive cast is going to leave everyone longing for health right. Riven is going to be coming in, doing damage left and right, picking up a kill. She is coming in, a second kill. Will it happen?
The guys know the passive from the item that I kind of made fun of her for getting saved her life.
Oh, but the Scrying Orb actually being used here so that Renekton can keep going on to this chase. He does have the speed on her. His Banshee shield is back up. Riven gonna be dropping a ward here. Ooh, she...
That was a
so
very good
almost.
fight. That was a very good fight for purple team. NY.
Yeah, they picked up 3 in return. Thresh now has that Banshee's Veil, as we talked about before. That's what he opted for.
There you go.
And the Giant spell being picked up by him as well.
Annie is okay. I'm just wondering who's the support here now. Is Elise the support because she's picking up most of the wards and the oracles, and now Annie's going for that Rabadon's Rabadon's death cap. Very, but I reckon she has a side stone, so she has unlimited. But like, she doesn't have to keep buying wards. So, but she does have Tibbers up though. All of the ults. Oh, but Renekton's is up now, but the Thresh box isn't. So.
And they are going to be using the sweeper there to take out the wards. So they are in control of Baron right now, which is decently good. Ooh, and Thresh actually missing the death sentence. It would have missed anyway had it collided because she does have that Banshee's Veil, and she's trapping very well at this point. Using the ace in the hole to get some aggro off.
Yeah, that was an interesting because you do have quite a few. Well, you have Renekton and Thresh who will obviously just take that. So I think, yeah.
And
so
Annie actually dropping the Tibbers. The Zhonya's being used by Gragas here, but the Ignite is on, and luck or skills picking it up yet again.
You are not going to get
when
away
your
from
support
an
can 1v1 a Gragas.
You know
Be a danger zone, but we do have Sivir coming in with the ult. Traps actually knocking people down, and the Cyclone being dropped as well as the box, but the box not doing much to anything. Igor actually picking up, Riven picking up onto Wukong. A good pickup by of Elise, but a double kill going on to Sivir. Done fairly well, but Kaylin's just going to keep coming on with this aggravation of that range where Sivir can't.
Oh, the turnaround.
Oh my gosh, but the shutdown, she is going to be picking up the kill. This is going to be a double kill, perfectly picked up, double buff now on. She is going to have to force one of these lanes, possibly the top lane, because the tower is in an aggravated position right now. And Renekton actually finishing on, getting the time at Annie picking up the death cap. Just good plays.
That was interesting because what was good about that fight for both teams was that ADC was at the back line doing all the damage, and then when all the tanks and everyone else was there, they were just like, okay, let's 1v1. And Caitlyn kept on top of that.
And Thresh actually finishing the Talisman of Ascension was just good because it's not something that his team has had. So now they're going to have the speed buff. Compared to Annie, who hasn't bought any of the support items, they're going to have that advantage to catch up onto them in those situations.
And Caitlyn just 1v1ing Dragon.
And it's not too hard on her position. She is level 18, and just look at her build. She has the Bloodthirster, the Phantom Dancer, has another BF Sword, the last Whisper, and the Banshee's Veil. What more could you ask for?
Maybe not so many deaths, no, but she's gonna probably pick up the Infinity Edge.
Oh, that is a definite strategy. Unless she goes for the
that acute. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh god.
Oh, this is a dangerous position for everyone to be in.
No, and Riven building up all the Death Bush. They're lining up the Death Bush. But it's weird. They have. Oh, but Baron was untouched that whole fight. Maybe they were trying to bait them into the fight. Riven picking up the Rabadon's Omen.
Oh my gosh, Death Sentence in a terrible position there. I don't know what they expected out of that.
The Death Bush, but they need their support to land through.
But Annie coming in, landing a perfect stun, and oh my gosh, Kayle picking up immediately onto Wukong. Cast actually being used to make sure everyone got off away from Renekton. Renekton picking up on to Annie, but Gragas picking up on to Kale. Ace in the hole is going to be picking up on Agar. Double kill for Caitlyn right here, and Riven looking to engage more. They are going to be pushing this mid tower. Oh my gosh.
This is... Yeah.
And they are just going on to aggression, onto... Oh my gosh. They're gonna have to back away from this, but this is a free inhibitor for them right now, completely uncontested. They almost got Gragas and Sivir down.
Yeah. Now, if I know what they're probably gonna do, yeah, I would be going no, because you got the barrel, but I think that, yeah, they're going for Baron. It's almost a threat when they're on the other team, because he could just barrel and have his, I think his ult will be up. Yeah, his ult's up, so it's, but they're taking it down really fast. No, he's not gonna get there.
So just a good pickup on the Baron after they zoned the Sivir and the Gragas out, as well as picking up the inhibitor. Just beautiful play. Everyone is now back up, and so far, Spectre's crowd picking up for Gragas right now, so he's going to be going for that Banshee's Veil just as well. Or actually, he could go for the Spirit Visage because of his passive.
Yeah, the one thing I saw during that fight was, instead of ulting herself, Kayle ulted Annie, so I think Kayle would rather have the support who has a whole ton of who has about 500 AP. It's more important than Kayle living, so you know that's always good when your support is more damage.
And Annie is just pulling out these ults amazingly well compared to her early game, where she was they were either like hit or miss. It was almost 50-50. It didn't show as much as we wanted to, but right now she's just picking people off left and right with them. Good placement, good positioning, and right now the thing that was pulling Lag is ahead of the game earlier was their ability to team fight very, very well, and their ability to collapse onto NY here. So what they honestly just need to do is they need to get that group communication back into play and just overall pull a win out, because they could do it if they tried, but they just keep getting these death sentences that are missing, and then a good engage is usually brought on by Annie as soon as they see that hook is down from Thresh. But top tower actually falling to minions. The minion push is strong.
Yeah.
And again, Caitlyn using using the ace in the hole here just to be a little bit aggressive, just poking on to Renekton. They do have that Baron buff yet again, so they do have that 40 AD and AP as well as the regen, and they're gonna come for this bottom tower just like they did the last time that they had Baron.
But the mid minions are pushing, so, and I'm surprised they're sending severe to minions.
Ooh, and a good Cocoon actually locking down on the Thresh, getting some damage out onto him. But they are just going to keep poking onto this tower very well. Annie coming in with the Tibbers, locking everyone down. The Cyclone is out. People are dropping, and Renekton actually falling. Annie back and forth, but we do have Caitlyn just in a terrible position, picking up a double kill for Gragas. Riven is going to be slowly escaping with the death, and it's just a clutch pickup and a triple kill going to Gragas.
The one thing I saw that fight is Kayle still had her ult, so obviously quick, or she didn't have enough time reaction to ult someone.
So that was a good play, again, with the lockdown that they needed to do. They needed to group up, and they got that group up. Black Cleaver now onto Wukong, as well as Hydra coming out for Renekton. Good pickups here, and now they're just gonna be doing the damage as well as having the sustain that they need to in these fights. Now it's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, the 30-second death timer, so now they're probably gonna push up top, because there's the minimum OP.
Yeah, but they are going to be pushing for this top tower, which is good. Sivir's going to be there pretty soon. Her attack speed is high. She does have the damage, and she's just going to be building for that IE. They picked up the tower in like 0 seconds flat, as well as his inhibitor. If they need to, they could cycle for that mid. They are just going to back off.
So
But we
Gragas
do
picking up
have
the
Sivir
Void
just
Staff.
going. Oh,
I was just saying Gragas picked up the Void Staff and the Banshee Shield.
so that's going to be good for when Annie comes in with those Tibber drops, as I mentioned before, allowing it to block that ability, or when Caitlyn with the ace in the hole. Oh, my bad. Basically anybody, when it comes to this fight. So the fact that they're building this Banshee's Village just to block anything coming in for NY here is beautiful.
And Annie finally getting the Oracles as a support it does. She finally
Ooh,
relieving.
but Annie forcing a flash here.
That's what Annie does when she can take off on a Gragas 1v1. I would not want to at Tibbers.
I don't think anybody does at this point, considering the fact. Oh, and she is possibly going to be building for that Rally's Crystal Scepter coming out soon. Something I'll actually be happy to see, but we did have Caitlyn picking up onto the Zephyr just a while ago, actually, but I just wanted to announce that because I love seeing what Zephyr can do because of the cooldown, because of the movement speed, and because the attack speed that it offers to people like Caitlyn and Sivir are just strong.
And it reduces the stun time, so that's really good if you're getting by the threshold or something like that. So, and the slow from Gragas is.
Oh, but a good death sentence being used. The Flay just catching her out just a little bit there. Oh, but they are going to be knocking on this tower pretty well.
Oh,
And Annie comes in with a beautiful Tibbers from this side. The Cyclone's after Wukong. He is jumping onto everyone. A good Gragas ult being used, as well as the box defensively. But right now, Annie is just doing damage and making sure people stay alive, picking up onto Wukong. That is what she's going to be doing here. And everyone is looking fairly low. We do have Thresh being picked up, a double kill for Caitlyn right now. But Annie is still going after this Gragas. Ace in the hole is down. That's a triple kill. This could be the next. Oh my gosh, but these minions are just beating up the tower. Right here, Riven's just gonna have to keep it safe. She's got it down packed. She is gonna be using Randuin's to keep them there, but they are gonna be knocking down onto this tower fairly well.
See, this is where a Revenant's Hydra would be the best for Riven. But her GA did get procced during that fight.
Exactly, and they are just going on to take some of the Nexus towers here, which, in all honesty, is a perfect job. Is a perfect play here, because Annie can just sit there. She is going to be dropping Tibbers, I'm fairly sure,
Tibbers,
on this tower.
Use your Tibbers. You have Tibbers.
But she is going to be picked up by the tower.
Oh, that was because now it's late into the game. The death timers are really high.
Yeah, she does have about 65 seconds left here now. About 60 seconds, actually. But we do have Sivir coming in, flashing for that. She didn't really need to flash, considering that she did ulti pop there, but she just went over the wall and wanted to go ham, and she did it.
So people get, there you go, there's the Annie Rileys. So Gragas has finished his build. Renekton's has finished this build for a while. Caitlyn's finished her build.
But they are going to be going for this Baron. It's completely unnoticed right now.
No, but the back door, the X-Pekes.
So we might actually see X-Pekes coming in here. We do have good pushes coming down, and they might just go for a tank on it.
Come on, X-Peke. Come on, X-Peke.
So this has to be the GG coming out. Elise, please.
No.
Gosh.
Kale was he not? Kale.
They were so close. They are going to be speeding up, possibly picking up on the Kale, but she is just going to skip. She does have the Guardian's Angel, but she just kind of left Elise there in that fight. But that did get the inhibitor down to a little bit of. Oh yeah, that got the Nexus pretty far down at that point. So a good play.
God,
almost close.
Almost.
Ooh, but.
I was actually really looking forward to if they X-Pek'd. That would have been awesome.
Especially if she would have survived all 5 of them denying her, trying to deny her that
I think
Nexus.
they could have got it if Chaos stayed, because then they would have had to split their focus into like Riven, to Elise or Kayle.
Exactly, and again, Kayle with that issue where she doesn't like ulting.
She ulted really early during that.
It was just, I think it was really weird. I think she could have played it a lot better, and that could have been. But they are gonna go for a push on this.
I think it was
tower.
a little bit of no. I think it was. She was getting really excited, and she was just like, "I need to ult myself to live," and emptied ult.
But Sivir again with the wave clear, just gonna be pushing this household bot lane because what they want to do is they want to group up as much minions as they can to push for those towers, and right now that's proving pretty well for top lane, and they're just allowing the pushes to come out well. And right now everybody, with the exception of Wukong, has a Banshee shield for lag I swear here. So this is just pure fun to watch these. But the GAs are actually coming out in response to all of that for NYCF here.
Yeah, you got the KO picking up, and now the Riven already had his. So,
but I noticed they have it like they really want this bot tower a lot more than you would think because they keep coming here. And instead of like trying to make a grandiose play for that mid lane, I can understand why they want it. But instead of like trying to force something in a mid where the inhibitor is in an exposed position and just trying to hit this bot tower, I just feel it's losing its lackluster and just very dangerous for them.
They're doing a death bush, which is interesting since. Yeah, they're playing. Lag is playing it safe because they're thinking that NY and push the mid lane and try to get that inhibitor.
But at this point in time, they need to make a play eventually. I can understand waiting the Baron buff off, which is entirely a good idea, but it's off within the next few seconds.
The Thresh.
They are coming in, the box is down, and no one's died yet, but a good poke. Oh my gosh. Annie actually almost losing it, but Ace in the hole being blocked.
Yeah, it was good that Annie didn't use the turbos to go back in because Riven wasn't in the fight, so it would have been effort.
Yeah, Forty's that situation would have been a bad play because I don't think Riven could defend against an entire siege on the base. But right now we are going right in the 60 minutes, so it's officially been an hour since this game took place. They are turtling left and right. They're 8 and 9 in towers. The goal lead is pretty real at this point, but it's 34 to 37 in kills.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of that point of the. It's kind of point of the game where if someone gets a good team fight on because, well, especially for the blue team because they have an open nexus, but even if the purple team fought out, so they only have maybe two members alive, it could be GG because they could just push to win.
Exactly, but at this point, again, the open nexus, as soon as they they're going to be going for that nexus, possibly baiting out the Baron, which isn't up for another another minute 30 seconds at this point. So I'm kind of confused as to why they're baiting it out for so long. Maybe they're hoping that one of them will come and be like, "Oh, what's up?" Or do they think Baron's up soon, and then possibly pick them up?
Yeah, because the blue team have the Baron timer up, so maybe the purple team do. I didn't see any wards there, so it's. Oh,
but they are right around the bend.
Oh god, this is the team fight. No, they're backing up. No.
But now everyone has Banshee's Veil on the enemy. Well, at least Annie does, and Elise does. So much Banshee Veils. I can't even.
Yeah, is Riven the only one without Banshees?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the same thing for Wukong. This is 8 Banshees in a game. Holy Mother Teresa here.
Oh, Sevilla's got procced because of Elise's spider.
A good spider doing its job. But this game is really close at this point. They are actually going to be making a play for this Baron. It is up in that 10-second frame. Might they be going for it?
I think. Oh, but they. Yeah, they. And they're stepping over a ward. There's a ward right there. And I think Sevilla just popped Banshees because of Caitlin's cupcake. Oh, On the Hunt was used to escape, and Thresh flashed.
So a very, very good escape coming out from here, allowing them to possibly just go for this Baron, which is what they want to do at this point.
Wow, the Farsight. There's 3 Farsights on the blue team. On Leg's team.
Exactly, but they're just going to hammer this Baron down with no regard to whoever's behind them. And I don't think Wukong's going to be able to come in with a smite. Purple team does pick up the Baron. This is going to be them coming in. However, the box is down as well as a shutdown. Caitlyn falling nonetheless. A good barrel being used here. Caitlyn just out of the fight entirely is going to be what's dropping this team right now. A bad initiation. They should have just took the Baron, found a way to escape, but Annie's going to be taking a kill here. Not even having the just with the Baron, as well as the amount of damage she can do, but Igor's going to be falling nonetheless. So this is 2 for 3 at this point. They might just siege the base. They do have Annie. She has a strong will to push right now and just is devastating, and Riven just attacks so much right now. So this is going to be an inhibitor. They might go for another one if they want to, but other than that, this might be GG. Again, as you mentioned, it is late game. Yeah. Those death timers are low. And if they want to, they can just go for it. Riven is actually going the first one in, going straight off.
They're just focusing on Riven.
This Nexus, she might take it, might take it. And they are gonna be GG's here. And this game is gonna be going to NYCF. So, whoa, what an amazing game, and what a long one too. 64 minutes, 22 seconds, 8 and 9 in towers, but the Nexus falling for NYCF yet again.
It was such a tight game.
That's exactly what they pulled off. Just for both sides, it was tit for tat, left and right, but just overall amazing fights.
There was. I thought because Annie didn't use her tibbers till the very end of that fight, but it worked out. And Riven farmed very nicely that game, 438 farm. Saw that split pushing.
Yeah, she is taking the farm lead. Just a very, very good turtle game coming out. Again, Riven ending actually pretty even, 6-6 and 16. And at the beginning, there were points where she was like 0-4, and it wasn't until her 5th death that she got her first kill. And I just wasn't expecting them to come back from such a devastating top lane, and they pulled it off miraculously.
But the surprising thing is Wukong died not 1 to 9, but his assists. 25 assists.
But just overall, good fight. So GG to both teams, and congratulations to NYCF here. You are moving forward. I am Rainbow Sasha. This is I See What You Did There, casting with me, and we will be back. Well, not specifically we, but there will be another game in just a few minutes, so make sure to stick around and tell your grandma and grandparents to join in on the fun. See you in a bit.
See ya.